we're fucked.
Oh, you just saw a 10-second diesel truck.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the garage. So it is finally the weekend. No work this weekend. Good deal. The only problem is it's supposed to be god awful out. Just hot and muggy and oh well. Anyhow, tonight we are gonna continue working on the Bobcat. I did some work last night. As you can see, I have the engine cover on. I got all the bracing kind of just on loose because I'm trying to figure out the whole muffler situation. So I cut the frame here. This is like a 1/4-inch frame. I mean, it's thick as shit. So I cut that and then sliced it up top till I could beat it in with a hammer to get the muffler to fit. So that'll go on there like that. And my plan is to TIG weld around that muffler, and that'll secure that there. Also, there's a couple of stress cracks in here, so we'll repair those while we're at it. But we got to fix this. You know, we'll add a plate here or something. We'll figure something out. Maybe I'll just fill the gap as far as I can and then throw a bead of weld up top here. The other thing is this whole scaffolding thing in the back, I think it's for, you know, like rollover purposes. So it has like these feet and all. Down to the hunting camp, it is flat. I mean, it's lower Delaware. There's no hills or nothing. So I'm not worried about those. But I figured since I have all this plate and all, and I kind of got the cut, and I was thinking about using those, what I'm going to do is we're going to weld on this side and bolt on this side. We will bolt it to the part of our frame where I bent it in and weld it to this cross member here, and that will give us both like an impact protection from our for our muffler, I should say, give us some impact protection for that, and also stiffen things back up. Not that this thing really needs to be made even more rigid. I mean, this thing is certainly a solid frame. So that's kind of the plan. I have the TIG set up on the welder already, as you guys know. I think I have some rod around, so I might end up sticking some of this. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. But really just get that little skid plate on there and all that kind of stuff. I do have filters coming for it, so we changed the fuel filter. I did drain the one tank. And then threw a little bit of fresh gas in it, just that way, you know, we can start it if we need to, but just get that old crap out. I don't know how old it is. Yeah, so weld that all up. I want to get basically the thing running and driving. Maybe we'll be able to test it out a little bit, but we need to do an oil change, hydraulic fluid change, and I needed to size up belts. That's the only problem. When we switched the motor and went to this other PTO clutch, it is a smaller pulley up here, so we're definitely gonna probably have to play with finding the correct belt, but it's just a V-belt, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. All right, I'm ready to get back to working on this thing. It is way later. So I got that frame all welded up and painted, just, you know, across the top seam. I made 2 plates on either side, welded those in. Now I got the muffler in. It is welded in. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can tell, they're welded about 3/4 of the way around. This particular muffler was bolted to the frame of the other tractor for stability, or, well, that's how it was mounted, I should say. And these pipes just slid in, so I am not worried about it leaking. But it's a garden tractor, so who cares, really? But I do have like 3/4 of the way welded, so that thing is nice and secure. I did a little patch job on the one crack, and on this one, it was just too thin. It was blowing through, so I found a piece of scrap so I could just wash, you know, from the thicker metal down onto the muffler. So I'm going to reassemble this framework and probably put the PTO clutch in and see what we got, see what I need for belts, and go from there. This definitely took me like a hell of a lot longer than I had anticipated. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's late. This is the power takeoff assembly. As you can see, it's just 2 wires. It's a hot in the ground. So you have this pulley here, which is your normal, I guess, idler pulley, which will send, you know, the belt will wrap around here and it'll go to the 2 hydraulic units on the 0 turn. And this will always be free and spinning, or able to spin, I should say. So that'll go on. And that is keyed to the shaft, and also keyed to the shaft of the actual PTO assembly itself. So how this works is your idler pulley here, it's always spinning, you know, and that little drum there is spinning, and this isn't. So when this becomes energized, it's kind of like a clutch, or, well, it is a clutch. So it'll squeeze together and then allow the one that will drive our mower deck, that pulley will then be able to spin. So as you can see right now, nothing. And then if we applied power, obviously the whole thing would want to spin. So we're going to install this. Well, I'm going to install it on the shaft. Not much room down there, but next thing you know, that'll be in. We're fucked. I spoke too soon about that PTO. I went to put this PTO in, and I was thinking there's no provisions on the 0 turn to keep the actual PTO assembly itself from, you know, spinning. I was like, all right, well, we'll have to make something that didn't come with it. Not a big deal. But then I got looking at it, and I saw this pulley was like pretty much in line with a cross member. Well, that doesn't look right. So I put them up here on the table. As you can see, the pulleys are different sizes. Actually, these two look pretty close, but the locations are off. I was thinking, hey, you know, we can modify this pulley and cut it down, get these two aligned. We'll just have to get a smaller pulley. But the PTO on this one, the 1-inch shaft, 25 horse Kohler that we are putting in the 0 turn is much. Well, in this representation, everything is upside down. So this is actually much lower in the 0 turn than what was in it with the 27 horse, which has an 1.125" shaft. So needless to say, this is not getting done now. We're not going to get where I wanted to. We are definitely at a wall. But that being said, Here they are flipped up. So as you can see, this shaft is just a little bit smaller than this one here. So I did a quick search on the line. And on the Amazon, they have these. They're 1-inch to 1.125" shaft adapter sleeves. So looks like we are not completely fucked. But for the time being, that's the situation. We're fucked. All this re-engineering of the zero turn definitely took me much longer than I had anticipated tonight. My original plan was knock this out and then start the dash wiring on the race truck. You see how far we got. So we have a little issue with changing the motor out, but we're doing an engine swap. I mean, I guess it's to be expected. So we got to deal with that. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to look at that shaft sleeve. I'm going to look at how everything lines up keyway wise. Just make sure that that will work. It is on the Amazon. It's not Prime, but still free shipping. So that's good. But it's not Prime. So it's not like it's going to be here in 2 days or whatever it is. But we did make progress. I'm very happy with how all the scaffolding in the back of the zero turn turned out. Definitely works. It looks like it's supposed to be that way, other than the little other than the little plates we put on the muffler there. But other than that, it really looks like it should be in there, and well, it will be here in a little bit. So guys, it's like with anything you're doing that's out of the ordinary, you're going to hit snafus that you never saw coming. They're going to hit you out of left field. I mean, I bolted that thing up and just thought to myself, well, there's nothing to stop this thing from spinning. I'll have to make something. And then happened to notice that pulley was so much lower than, like, it wasn't even that it wasn't even that there were any pulleys close to it to associate it with that it was going to drive. But I could see a cross member there, and I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So, like I said, just something we're going to have to figure out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I got a lot of good responses on the last one, people saying that, they didn't mind seeing the zero turn or something like this every now and again, which I thought was pretty cool. I figured everybody would just flat out hate it, but it's pretty awesome. So, anyway, it's late. Get out in your garage. Get wrenching on your truck or tractor or whatever. Just get out there and turn your wrenches. Catch you guys in the next one.